Yo, what's up, family? What's up, Reggie? Got my brother on the logging in. What's going on? What's going on, y'all? Welcome to another episode of Friday Night Live with me, Pastor Frank. As always, I know you could have been anywhere in the world, especially on this Good Friday night. But I'm so grateful that you all are tuned in with me. I know some of you all may be traveling on your way to a Good Friday night service. But as always, I'm excited because God brought us through yet another week. He allowed us to see the end and the completion of another week. And as always, I'm so grateful, and I hope you're grateful too. As always, do me a favor as y'all coming in. Don't forget to hit that like button. Go on and start tagging some folks. Let them know that we live and we on the air. And while you at it, don't forget to talk to me in the comments. I want to know who checking in with me. Let me know where you watching from. If you're here in the city, say what's up in Shy City. If you logging in from someplace else, even on the replay, do me a favor. Go ahead and drop a line in the chat. Let me know where you watching from. Don't forget, you all. This is episode 22. Wow. We've been spending 22 Fridays together. And so we have one more episode, which is next week, will be the last episode for season one. And then I'll be taking a break for a little bit and preparing for season two. I have not set a release date for when we'll come back for season two after 23 Fridays straight. I know I need a little break. I know some of y'all may be tired of seeing me, but guess what? I still want to stay connected with you all. So if you have not registered and checked in with me, shoot me a text. I want to stay connected with you. Shoot me a text to 833-858-5897. Again, if you have not connected with me, I need you to shoot me a text to 833-858-5897. I want to stay connected with you because even until in between season two, right? I know, especially going as we're in spring season, right? CPS and a lot of schools are on spring break now. But even as we go into the summer, I want to stay connected with you all. I may be having like a virtual or some kind of online Bible study or something that I'm working on to stay connected, even to kind of hold us over until we begin season two. And so, yeah, I want to stay connected with you all. But I don't know about y'all, but I'm excited as always. And so I'm ready to jump right in. Tonight, you all, episode, I'm still amazed, you all. This is episode 22. I have been coming on for 22 Fridays in a row. No days off. And so while I'm excited, I'm gonna be honest, I do want to take a little break. But nevertheless, tonight, you all, as promised, tonight we will be talking about healing matters. What's up, Nidra? Healing matters. I hope you all have enjoyed all of the Friday Night Lives coming up. What you say, the best side from the west side? Okay. I may have to do some kind of episode, west side versus south side. I don't know. Maybe, if we do that, then we got to be fair. We got to throw the east side in there, and the north side. But I digress. But tonight, you all, we will be talking about healing matters. So do me a favor as we get ready to jump in. If you haven't tagged some folks in the chat, do me a favor, tag some people. There's some other folks that need to be on and be live with us as we jumping into this topic for a few minutes. Then we're going to get up out of here and enjoy the rest of our Good Friday evening, you all. But tonight, we're talking about healing matters. And so I just want to kind of set the tone because some of you may know, I've talked to some of you all, but some may not know. So let me just start out by saying the entire reason that I started doing these Friday night lives is because over the past few years, I've come across, you all, so many people. A lot of them good, some of them bad, right? Just being honest. But especially for those good people, a lot of those good people had really good intentions, right? But one of the common denominators, Nidra, that I kind of noticed with a lot of people is everybody seemed to struggle with healthy relationships, right? And I'm not simply referring to a romantic relationship. I'm speaking about relationships in general, which means includes our relationship with our families or relationships with our friends, right? There's so many people that although it's not everybody, but so many of us have a revolving door of people who we called friends at one point in time. And I'm gonna be honest, because I do have a group of friends. There's a group of us. There's about 10 of us, and though we may know other people, but there's a good core 10 of us that we've been rocking and rolling for over 30 years. Right. Now, I mean, to the point that I'm gonna be honest, like even my kids, although they're older now, my kids have made mention like, wow, the fact that they don't know too many people that have had friendships as long as me and my brothers have had friendships, right? I mean, and again, we're not over the hill, all the way over the hill yet, but we ain't no young bucks either, but we've been doing this thing called life and walking together in our own way, doing life together for over 30 years, or about 30 years, I'll say. And so I begin to notice you are even in conversations with new people, and I understand the whole idea of no new friends, because especially nowadays, people is different. But the common denominator you are is people seem to struggle with healthy relationships. And here's the thing. I'm not saying that my voice is the end all be all when it comes to establishing or reestablishing healthier relationships. But I do believe you all that God has called me up for such a time as this to extend his love to others, to encourage personal growth, and especially to help establish or reestablish help, healthy relationships. Watch this, by creating spaces and platforms that lead people back to God, which leads me to tonight's conversation. And it makes me ask the question, why exactly does our healing matter? And I came back to this conclusion of I'm not sure that many of us really understand the significance of why it's so important for us to heal first. And so God began to impress on my heart that maybe a lot of us just don't know, because guess what? We just literally don't know what we don't know, right? We can't teach something or be something that we haven't been taught to be or how to do it. But here's the thing, the truth is, our healing matters. And I'm especially, now this goes for everybody, but I'm specifically talking about those of us who call ourselves Christians. The truth is, you all, our healing matters, because it's impossible for us to be what we would call spiritually mature, but yet remain emotionally immature or unstable. Ooh. Could it be that maybe the reason that many of us don't represent God the right way is because of our emotional instability? The Bible talks about an unstable man. Well, come on now. It's what? Somebody put it on the screen for me. A double-minded man is unstable in all of his ways. So guess what? Now that doesn't mean that you won't have doubts, right? Because we're human, so we still will have doubt. But when we struggle, when we talk about an unstable man or woman, that means your foundation is shaky. And the truth is, for many of us, our foundations are shaky. And yet we trying to build and move forward, right? I mean, just because you got a master's degree, oh, I got a double master's. I've had conversations with people with double masters who still had a shaky ground. Because guess what? It doesn't matter what we do in life. If our foundation is not firm, if our foundation is solid, no matter what we put on top of it, at some point in time, It's going to fall. So watch this. While I do believe, you all, that God can and God will deliver each and every one of us from the traumas of our past that build that rocky foundation. The reality is, you all, that our healing is a daily process that requires internal and intentional internal work that many of us just simply, unfortunately, were not taught the necessary tools to be successful. Instead, what we were taught is fake it till you make it. And so we spend most of our time and most of our lives faking it, right? That's why there's so many people that have achieved so many outward successes. Whether they started a Fortune 500 company, became a millionaire, right? Or they got a double master's degree, they got a double doctorate degree, but they're still unhappy. They're still unfulfilled. They have all the money in the world, but still can't maintain or don't even have healthy relationships. Don't even have a clue what healthy relationships look like. And here's the thing, you all. That's a dangerous place to be. Because our unhealed trauma tends to influence our perspective on everything, including our relationships. And again, I'm not even talking about romantic only, all of our relationships. It affects the way that we love or experience or interact with our families. It affects how we interact with people who we consider to be friends. It affects how we choose friends. It affects how we choose a significant other. But watch this, you all. It also affects those of us that are parents. It affects how we parent. Because we're parenting from a place of brokenness and unhealed life experiences. That, watch this, while we may have good intentions to try to be something that we don't know how to be, or but we try to present that, while we try to teach our kids to be better than us, the reality is, you all, we cannot teach what we don't know. There's no way that you can put me in a trigonometry class and expect me to teach trigonometry to anybody. I don't know it. I might want them to learn. I might want them to really get the content down really good. But I just can't teach it because I don't know it. And the same holds true for us. We simply cannot teach what we don't know. And the sad truth is, we don't know because a lot of us haven't been given the tools that's needed for us to, watch this, to firm up and shore up our foundation, right? For many of us, we come to church, we cry at the altar, we come up to the altar, we let the pastor lay hands on us, and we feel good, but then we walk out and then we try to figure out, how do I end up back in the same place? Because yes, God may have freed you, but even after God has freed us, we then have to walk in that healing and in that deliverance. And the truth is, many of us just simply don't know how. As a matter of fact, that's why I brought on my sister, who's a therapist, last week. Watch this, to begin the uncomfortable. I'm going to be honest. Healing is not always easy. But I know part of my calling is to help begin the uncomfortable conversation that some of us need to have regarding our process of healing. I got to be honest, you all. So many of us, there's so many people. And I'm not talking about whether they're educated or not educated. There's so many people that are lost. And I'm speaking from my perspective. And I've come to realize there's so many people that are hurting and unhealed, and they don't know it because they feel like, well, I went to school and I got a good job and I make good money. But their relationships with people are horrible. No stability. Everybody's a loner. No one trusts anybody. And watch this. We were designed to need others. When God decides that he's going to bless you or do something for you, he's going to use other people. But because our foundation with people has been disrupted, right? We view everyone through the same lens. We assume everybody is out to get us. Everyone is out to hurt us. But here's the thing, you all. We all have to at least begin the process of healing from the bondage of our past or the traumas of our past. Because it's only when we begin to start that healing process can we begin to move forward. Watch this, in a healthier way. Because the reality is there's many people that tried to move forward, right? But they still could, as they thought they were moving forward, they found themselves back in the same place with a different person. The goal is to move forward in a healthier way. And I wonder, you all, that's probably why Proverbs 17:22 reminds us that a healing heart is good medicine, but a crushed spirit dries up the bones. What does that mean? Well, just like medicine, which may not taste good to us, but it's good for us. The process of healing, you all, is the same way. The process of healing is not going to always feel good. Most of the time, it's not going to feel good because it's going to make us have to face some of those uncomfortable, hard truths. Let me give some examples. Some of us may have to face those hard truths of something bad happened to us that, guess what, we may not have had any control over. And we still suffer and hurt because of what happened to us. And so the idea of it feels like opening up a wound. But the reality is we have to be able to look at it in the mirror and accept what happened to us so that we can then go through the grieving process. Right? That's a part of healing. Part of healing is grieving. There's a grieving stage in healing. But many of us don't want to grieve. Some of us, we have to come to grips that we made some poor decisions in life. And we're not where we want to be. Thank God we're not where we used to be. But we struggle because we know that we're not where we want to be. And it's hard to look in the mirror and own up to the fact that maybe I made some poor choices. Maybe I didn't hear from God when he told me to go left and I chose to go right. Whatever the case may be, you all, we have to begin the process of healing. Because as Proverbs says, a healing heart is good medicine. But they good medicine. I remember growing up when I wasn't feeling well and I had like a cold or something like that, and they would give you that Robitussin, and they would come out with all these different flavors. I don't care what kind of flavor, what kind of spin they put on it. Medicine tastes like medicine. Horrible, tastes nasty. But you had to take that Robitussin because you knew that once it gets up inside of you, it'll begin to do some work that you don't see. And part of our process of healing, it starts with first trusting God and allowing him to first deliver us and begin that process of healing. which starts with accepting him and having him on the inside of us, but then allowing him to show us and point us in the right direction where we can get the necessary help that we need so that we can gain and develop the tools needed to walk out our healing. So, but let me clarify though. I do want to clarify because I am preaching that. Because here's the thing, I want to clarify that, watch this, the process of healing does not, hear me well, this process of healing that we're talking about, that does not take the place of the work that we need, the necessary work that we have to do in order to grow our faith. If anything, the process of healing is a part of growing our faith. Watch this, because the more that we can walk in wholeness and become whole, the closer that we can grow to God. And the closer that we walk out our healing, the more we will begin to develop a heart like God. But you first got to trust him. But then after and what do I mean by trust him? That means you got to trust him and let go. Give whatever your trauma is. You got to be able to give it to him and let it go. But can I be honest? Many of us have become so comfortable with bringing that baggage along with us that we believe that trauma, that baggage that has shaped us is a part of who we are. Can I tell you that is not so? That is not how God designed us to live. Now, we should use wisdom, but the process of healing is a part of growing our faith. As a matter of fact, the more we begin to go through the process of healing, the more we should become encouraged as we grow in our faith. This is important, you all, because I believe that it is God's desire that all of us would live life abundantly. But we first have to trust him. We first have to trust that he can and that he will deliver us from our traumas. But we got to let it go. We have to let it go and then begin doing the work. Watch this. Hear me. We then have to begin to do the work. And this is why it's a process. We have to do the work of unlearning our old ways and habits and begin this journey of becoming the authentic person that God created us to be, while we're learning new skills so that we can live and love the way that God designed us. So this weekend, you all, I want to encourage each and every person under the sound of my voice. Take some time to consider, where are you on your healing journey? Are you still just in the thinking phase? And note, I'm being nice. The thinking phase, which is good, but there's some of us, we've been thinking about stuff for so long, but we haven't put any action to what we've been thinking about. Where are you on your healing journey? And after you took the time to consider realistically and honestly, and I gotta say that because you ain't got to lie to me. You ain't got to lie to Craig. You ain't got to lie, Craig. You don't have to lie to me, but you'll never be able to lie to the person in your mirror. Where are you on your healing journey? After you decide and discern where you are on your healing journey, I encourage you to then take the necessary steps to move forward in your process of healing, no matter how uncomfortable it might be. For some of us, it may mean I need to get back to church. And it could be a combination of I need to get back to church. For some of us, it may need to be, I need to go see counseling. Some of us may need therapy. We may need counseling and therapy and Jesus. But here's the thing, you all. Something that I think many of us sometimes don't consider. Maybe, I often wonder how many people's healing is directly connected to our healing. Let's just let that sit for a minute. There's somebody that needs to hear our testimony of how we made it through and how we overcame and how we got to the place that we got in our healing journey. But if we're too afraid to start the process, how does that affect them? Who knows, you all? Who knows how many people are directly connected to our healing? And I don't know about y'all, but in the words of Donny Hathaway, I look forward to the day that we'll all be free, but in Christ. Listen, I hope tonight's conversation was a blessing to you all. That's all I got for y'all on tonight. As always, I hope to see you all next Friday night as we or for our last episode for season 1, as we'll be talking about evolving faith. Ooh, what does that mean? What does evolving faith mean? Is our faith even supposed to evolve? I don't know. We're gonna talk about it next week. I got to get up out of here. But before I do, remember, I love you. There's nothing you can do about it. Until next week, peace out. Have a great weekend. Love y'all.